So
This is like episode 12 or 13. I don't know, but we gonna keep this going. You know, we are here to do the show.
N.E.O, Nico, and Mo Black. And we about to talk about shows that we barely even know about.
Cause we,
Niggas, nah.
yo, niggas said niggas. There's two niggas, two non-experts.
Two niggas explaining other shit. N.E.O. We just gotta make up
Hey,
random things that N.E.O stands for like every time.
alright, facts,
Niggas
facts. I like that.
explaining other shit.
I got the next one. But yeah, man, we here to explain some other shit. We have what's this episode called? X Men. Y'all heard it, yeah. Y'all heard Cinco, man. He was doing the theme music.
Yeah,
Tolerance
we're
is
here to wrap it up.
extinction.
We're here to wrap it up. Episodes
Yeah, yeah,
7 through
yeah.
10.
This should be part three on our show, but yeah, episode 7 through 10. No, 8 through 10. Sorry, 8, 9, 10.
7. The last one we did was 6.
No, no,
Essentially,
no. Yeah, but just flow through it though. Flow through it. Let them know what you like.
essentially, shit is going to shits after the Genosha thing, and the X-Men are trying to figure out how to not rebel against the humans and not look crazy also, while trying to figure out what the fuck is actually going on here. And at the end of the day, Magneto type snaps. Rogue is out there finna snap herself after the loss of Gambit and shit. The X Men are kind of discombobulated. They all looking for everything. Do we wait? I forget if it was episode 7. Is this the episode where he takes Cap's shield and just launches it into the abyss? Like, if this is the episode, sorry, Cap, you got treated like a little bitch right there. Um,
Uh, yeah, nah,
Even
this
if
is
it's
the
not, fuck
episode.
it, we brought it up. It's too late now. It's in
Nah,
the
it is.
internet.
It is the episode.
Um, Also, they get to the end because they went looking for Trask because he's behind the Sentinels and stuff. And Rogue is like, "Hey, motherfucker, we're trying to get the actual bad guy. Like, we know you're the bad guy, but you're just working for the bigger bad guy, and we're trying to get to that motherfucker. So we just won't ask you questions. We don't even really want to hurt you, dog. Like." And this nigga's like, yo, I really ain't got no answers for you. I really ain't got no answers for you. And Rogue was like, bruh, wrong answer. Incorrect input. Please try again. He was like, bro, I really don't know shit. She said, well, I ain't got nothing for you, and drops this nigga out of the building. And all the X Men
You
are just
thought he
sitting back
was
like,
dead.
who the fuck is this new woman in front of us? And, she's thinking she killed this nigga, and next thing you know, Trask is back up floating, and the X Men are like, oh, fucking shit. It just continues to get crazier. Because that's the life of an X Men. When you think shit is crazy and it can't get no crazier as an X Men, you should double back and be like, damn, it's about to get crazier. Because that's kind of how it goes. Because Trask gets back up, and he ain't just get back up. It's not like they just looked over the edge and they seen a nigga standing on the floor brushing himself off. No, this nigga floated himself back up to like the 12th floor and was just staring at him as a sentinel human. Talking about,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
fuck
nigga.
y'all up. And the X Men are like, oh, no, 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 no. And they start fighting and shit, but they start realizing, like, Trask ain't no normal sentinel. This dude out here handing out the fisticuffs, bro. He's really up there like the Fighting Irish logo. Like, put him up, nigga. I'm down for the scuffle. So, that's kind of how that episode ends, is with finding out that Trask is a sentinel. And they have to fight, and now they got to figure out how to beat Trask and shit. With Xavier on his way back to Earth still.
Yeah, yeah, but really the bigger parts of that was too. That's the beginning of Bastion's plan and shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but I
saying? Like
mean, he
that's
doesn't really spill it there. I feel like
at the
because
end. I think
at
at
this
the
point
end.
we just know that he's like just trying to cause some rift between the humans and the mutants and do things to make everybody question the other one. He's just trying
I
to
thought this.
cause
I
animosity.
thought this was the episode. Like right after that. After that, at the end, they show him in That's where
Sinister.
they show. Yeah, they show him in Sinister, and that's
Well,
where
at
they
the
show
end they show that
Magneto.
they got Magneto, but I
Magneto
don't think they
locked
got.
in.
I don't think they fully went over the like they were like giving the
Ah,
gist like, yeah, I'm trying to cause this animosity. Things are going to plan except for a few little things, but I'm working around it. And then they showed Magneto. I think in the beginning of the next episode, they really like be like, this is what I actually want to do here. Like this is the whole plan here. So now you can go, sir. Now that we're on 8, 9, and 10.
My turn. My turn.
Yeah.
Turn. Yeah. Nah. So yeah, this is episode. We on episode 8 now. Episode 8 is tolerance, is extinction. This is
Part
part one.
one.
This is everything with Cinco explained. We caught up now. So then you know what I mean. Like he said, Bastion basically his plan folds out. You know what I'm saying? And like real quick, um, they got Magneto tied up and shit like that. The whole evil plan comes out. He's basically got a whole army of like human sentinels. You know what I mean? I forgot the secretary lady name, but he tells her like, listen, this is about to go down. His mom. This
I'm
is
gonna
the
call her Anna
episode.
Wax because I just feel like that's a good name.
We gonna go with Anna Wax. He
Anna
calls and he
Waxler
tells
or some shit, you know.
yeah, Anna Wax. She's like, nah, like how could you have like a whole human like you turn a human into sentinels? Because that's exactly what he is. Basically, he's like the reincarnation of Mastermind or something like that. Like Mastermind went into him when he was like
Your
a cell or a
mind and
baby or some
what's his
shit.
name? Nemigod or something like that.
Nemesis,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nemesis,
He's like a
yeah,
combination
from
of
the
those two in a
Nimrod,
human.
no, yeah, not
Nimrod
Nemesis,
and Megamind in
Nimrod,
a human.
Nimrod, yeah, yeah. So like, it's pretty cool. Real quick, I'm gonna just say something I like. You know what I'm saying? I like Bastion, the home scene where they go back to with him, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Nathan. What's his name? Cable goes to Bastion's home and find out more about Bastion. So find out he was like,
Find his mama
Professor
Dukes
X.
there,
Yeah,
just sitting around, lonely.
Professor X went to visit him and he didn't take him. And this nigga turned his mom into a sentinel out of nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? When his plan really unfolded, she started busting off at them. This shit was fire. The fight between them was
Now
fire.
it sounds crazy
That
when you
shit was
say
dope.
that though. Let me put preference, like a reference out there. He wasn't just turning niggas into sentinels on some like I need an army type shit. He was turning niggas into sentinels because in his mind, this is almost like some Thanos shit. Like good think, like good concept, good meaning behind it, but bad approach. He was turning them into sentinels as the next step of evolution because he's seen regular humans being phased out by mutants, and he did not want regular humans to be phased out. So he figured he'd advance regular humans to surpass what mutants can do.
Yeah, so basically he had that like that sentinel thinking like times 10. So, like, it's went crazy.
Well,
And
because
like
he
you
had like an
said,
emotional tie, like how
yeah, he
when
did,
we
yeah.
do our Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 2 video, that guy has an emotional tie to people. He's tied to emotions. Bastion is like the same thing, just he had like an emotional tie toward machinery. Like he can feel their emotions and shit, whatever that concept is, but he can connect with machinery.
That's funny because yeah, he is kind of like Charles in the thing. Real quick though, like some of the things, like when they was still in their plan, they showed Doctor Doom. That shit was fire. I like Zemo.
Oh, they started
I
filling it
did.
up with mad cameos in these 3 episodes, especially
Yeah,
the last one. Cameos
yeah.
everywhere.
Cameos is crazy in this one. They showed Spider Man in this one. Um, like I
And
said, when they
Mary
was
and
fighting,
Flash.
what happened?
They show Mary Jane, Flash. Flash Thompson. Spider Man.
Oh
They
yeah,
showed Black Panther. They showed Iron Man. They showed Captain a bunch of times. They showed Cloak and Dagger. They showed a bunch of people off doing their fighting elsewhere and stuff like that.
no, they definitely did.
Morph doesn't count
Oh
as
yeah, you know
cameos to
what?
me.
I
So
was thinking that. I
half
was
half
thinking if
cameos.
that was Flash Thompson. That was
That
Flash
was
Thompson
Flash
behind the
Thompson who was
word.
behind him, who peeked around.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking that. I was asking my. But yeah, that's
For
how
all
this
the non
basically.
90 kids who did not know that was Peter Parker.
Oh, that's crazy. The episode goes basically, and the X-Men are they all go into different missions and stuff like that. So, like I said, Cable they go to his house. Rogue is unconscious because, like Sink said, she got knocked out by Trask in the last episode. When he hit her, when he floated back up like that 12 story, he hit her with some shit, and she didn't. She was done. You know what I'm saying? She was done for. So she's unconscious. It was a crazy fight between the Sentinel humans and
X Men.
Wolverine and Nightcrawler. Yeah,
Yo,
the X Men everywhere. So
they
yeah,
was getting busy. Wolverine was fucking
Nightcrawler
Nightcrawler.
and man, they was going crazy. They was going crazy. I
They
gotta
said,
see that shit.
here's your Wolverine moment. We've deprived you since that cool moment with Gambit. Here's your
Yeah,
Wolverine moments.
they had it cool. They had Sunspot. Sunspot for y'all who don't know is Roberto. He finally gave himself a name and his power revealed his power. Sunspot and Jubilee. They were cool. They were flying around. You know what I'm saying, fighting off people and shit like that. But yeah, that's basically how the episode went though. Like, Monique, I'm gonna let you fill in, anywhere else, but I'm gonna just say, Magneto did escape. What we calling this lady name? Anna Rafe again? What we call her? Anna Ray or
I forgot
something?
that simple name
I
like
forgot.
wax already.
What was it? Anna Wax? Anna Wax. We Anna Wax she was actually ordered to stay there with Bastion and Sinister, to overlook things, but she was feeling bad for Magneto, like, what I'm saying, because
She
she
didn't
just kept
expect
saying
this shit to get this bad. He was like,
yeah,
she ain't
yeah.
really feeling mutants, but she ain't want them all just genocided out and shit like this.
And there was a tone about this episode too. Like a couple people did not like what happened to Genosha. Like a couple of the humans, they was like, "Whoa, like you too fucking far." Like, matter of fact, even Doctor Doom, he was like, "Whoa, like don't think like my like me fucking with you is like in league for like what you did and stuff like that." So that's because kind of the tone. Like Bastion kind of overstepped.
Bastion's
Sinister,
an
they
extremist,
definitely is,
which
definitely
is
is. He
weird
took
because
it.
he's like because X-Men has always had this like tone of racism. X-Men were the ones being prejudiced against, and humans were basically just the prejudice, the ones doing it. So they've always
Mm-hmm.
had this tone of racism, and it's funny that Bastion is such an extremist because he's basically an Uncle Ruckus, if you
Going,
want to
yeah,
think
basically,
about
yeah.
it. So because
Wilding
he's
out.
not a human at the end of the day, he is a mutant at the end of the day, and he's just
Right.
struggling with the acceptance of that until the last episode. He was struggling with the acceptance of the fact that he's a mutant. He slips up and he gives in. And I don't know if he like slips up on the purposeful tip or if he like slips up on accident and like you're just talking and it comes out. But he definitely
I
gives
think
into his
I think
mutant.
in that big scene, we're gonna get to it. That big scene where it was like when Cyclops made them stop attacking. I was like, you know. But anyway, but yeah, and then so Magneto escapes and he shuts down the planet. He shuts
Yep.
down the planet. You know what I'm saying? His electromagnetic fields just
You
go
guys like the
covers.
internet? No more. You guys were in the middle
Nothing.
of Facebook? Mm-mm. Done.
You guys were having heart surgery, dead.
Oh, so go back to a cameo because you said that. Doctor Strange was still performing surgeries.
Oh yeah,
He
he was
was
doing it
out
with
there
his
with the magic and shit, with the
yeah,
candles
that shit
lit
was
and all
cool.
that shit. He was still out there saving lives. Obviously, a lot of lives are going down, but Doc
He
saving
was
what he
saving
can.
one.
He was saving what he can.
He was saving one. Real quick, I'm gonna just say my dislikes and I'm gonna hand it over to Sink. I didn't like Roberto Parent, like bitches, handing them over to the Sentinels like that.
But that was the whole point. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it sets up him.
You don't
It
like
sets up for
them.
the next.
You don't like the
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
but like it,
yeah. I
it
was saying,
does
yeah,
what it's supposed to do.
they were just stupid though. And Charles, I have a problem with Charles in this whole cartoon. Like he just stupid to me. This is my personal like opinion.
Xavier?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not really feeling him. I'm not really feeling him. He just kills me.
I mean, he don't got no too many moments. I mean, until
I
you
mean, the
find out the
whole like
source.
coming down to earth and like to me, my X Men. I'm like, bitch, these niggas been dying. I felt
That's
like
exactly
Rogue
why he's
at that
coming
point.
back. I
Yeah,
don't.
but
I feel like Professor wasn't really monumental to the season at all. Like,
and
yes, he was needed. I feel like he was
I don't really
needed.
like
Like,
how he looks either. I think how he looks stupid. You know who else I felt like
you're
that about?
nitpicking. You're
I
nitpicking.
got
Magneto's kind of
I
weird too,
got.
though. If we're gonna talk about it,
You think Magneto's? I think
it's kind of
Steve
weird.
Rogers looked dumb as hell. I was
Oh,
like, yo,
Cap
this
looks
nigga Steve
stupid, but you
Rogers
want to know what it
stupid as
is?
fuck.
Because they really based them off of older looks, not necessarily just their old '97 looks. They were basing them off of old like comic looks. Like the Iron Man looks like the Iron Man from the comics. I mean, the shows back in the day, not like a
Yeah.
modernized Iron Man. So it is that's kind of been the whole thing because like I like watching it because it does look like '90s like the old '90s shit, but the enhanced like
Yeah,
quality of
and,
it
yeah, it's
makes
pretty
it look
cool.
weird. I feel like in a sense because I'd be looking at people sometimes and I'd be like some just sticks out that is like kind of weird,
Yeah,
and
some of them look weird.
so Xavier
Some of them
does
look.
have a weird look to him because his eyebrows look super pronounced, and I think that's what it is that his eyebrows are like such a standout on him right
It's
now.
his head portion and eyebrows.
Yeah, but then his eyebrows do like this weird like swoop up and then down thing, and it's like they just stand out. They're like the most prominent feature on the man. Like if you put a million bald dudes in a room, they'd all look alike, and you'd be like, "That's Xavier because of the fucking eyebrows." Like
But
if
yeah, you got
X Men
anything
just
else
drew a
to
bunch
say
of them.
about this? Anything else to say about part
One.
one?
Um,
If not, you could just
I
take part
mean,
two.
realistically, that was it. Magneto just shows up and you get there. Um, Now I don't
Magneto was
actually.
right.
I would just for you just I would have you just continue part two because honestly these episodes are blended into me. You see, I already referred to it earlier before we started as like this is one whole episode to me because I would just start talking about things that happened in episode three. I don't know if you have that more in control. Like I would just say more.
Yeah. Well, just keep it flowing. Then episode what is I forgot the name of it. I got excuse.
I
Tolerance
mean,
is extinction part two.
yeah,
Basically, Magneto attacked when he attacked the Earth. In the last one, that's what they considered. They considered him declaring war. So him shutting down the electric and all electricity. That was declaring war. Charles is like, nigga, you gotta turn it back on, like you're bugging, and so
okay.
he sends the fucking the X Men on missions. Basically,
Split
they're
up
back
into
on a mission.
teams.
Some
Yeah, they split up into
yeah,
teams. Jean's team is going to go find Bastion, and Xavier and Scott's team is going to get Magneto on the asteroid M.
and this one is pretty cool. This one is pretty cool actually. You know what I'm saying? It's real quick. Two fights with a separate. I'm gonna do Gene and that one's pretty dope.
Jean and
And
Cable's team.
Cable in them. So first, even before they split off, though, they all together and the Sentinels attack and Storm and and the Forge. They all in there. Storm comes out on her Omega shit. That's pretty cool. I like how they let Storm shine on this one. Um, her and Jean had this moment. She's like says a pretty cool line.
Make them
Make them mind
mind your
your
weather
weather
and make them weather your mind,
and,
sister.
and,
Oh
and whether
man,
your mind. Yeah.
dropping a gem on them right
I was like,
there.
oh, I went crazy. I was like, oh shit.
I was like,
I was
man,
like,
look
they
at
about to
these two
kick ass.
sisters from other mothers,
Yeah,
sisters from other misters.
you just knew from then like they was gonna kick ass. So that was pretty dope. So yeah, they break off. But then we have the Sentinels versus Forge and Storm. They kind of get hurt and taken away, with Beast and stuff like that. And then we have like Jean Grey and Cable, who's fighting some more Sentinels. Sinister, Sinister though kind of takes over. You gotta remember though, Cable was from the future. He was saying the future because Sinister infected him. Some mutant shit. I don't know. And then so he's basically still able to control him. So that's what he did. He made Cable attack Jean Grey. That was crazy because right before like going down, Jean Grey like telepathically called Scott. And now Scott, every time that's kid, they always traumatizing Scott. Scott see exactly what Jean Grey be going through and feeling. And like she was right there, got blasted by Cable because nobody even knew unless you like real into the comics that Cable could do the psychic shit. And that was cool. You know what I'm saying? He was like, the shit don't skip, don't tend this generation. That nigga psychic blast hit G. She was like, oh shit, because I felt like she didn't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she knew. I don't know. But then we get to the fight. Then we get to the part. All right, so yeah, nigga named Charles in them. This is the crazy part. I saved this for last for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You want to say something? Cause it's still like you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about. You know what I'm talking
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll
about.
squeeze in here before you get to that. I was very upset with Cable. Not gonna lie. I was like, you damn bastard, you fucking idiot, you fucking buffoon. Like,
I felt like that too. I felt like that
so it
too.
kind of conflicts what's going on and stuff like that. Like he's trying to prevent the stuff. So like, is it while he's trying to prevent the actions of Genosha that he gets caught up in all this or something like that, and he just keeps trying for some reason, but his main purpose is to eventually get the Jean Grey. Like why is like it almost made like the stuff he was doing earlier in the show feel pointless. Like, I can't even really explain why it feels pointless, but it was like so if you basically helping Bastion and Mr. Sinister, what's the point of trying to go back and stop Genosha? Like,
And remember, he tried it 200 times.
yeah. So like, I'm assuming they caught him somewhere in the 200 and like 30th time or something like that, you know? Like, and they caught his ass and they was like, "Hey, boy, we tired of you trying to stop this. I mean, but why would they be tired? He's failing over and over again. Like,
Nah, I think Sinister just always had that control over. As long as he had that, whatever he had in him, like maybe Forge was able to like heal him in the future, but I don't think he got rid of the mind
well,
control.
to go deeper into the end of this, it kind of just ties into everything else that's going on. And I don't really want to use the word because it kind of, but I'll just say it, time loop.
Use it, use it, use
Time
it.
loop. There's a whole bunch of time paradox time loops and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
So
man. That's everything Disney goes for now.
yeah, and Marvel is definitely. I mean, Marvel's always been that in a sense. If you go back and you
Yeah,
find
hey, honestly, yeah, you're
if you
right.
find anything that talks about the history of Marvel, like where like chronologically begins, not just necessarily like what came out first, it technically begins in a reboot. It's like like you see some like shadowy figures and like a blurry light, and then you like move into an actual storyline of something totally different. So it's almost like that was like their superhero team, X-Men slash Avengers, like I guess walking off into the light of a refresh of a universe.
Right.
So I feel like Marvel just likes to harp on that kind of stuff, to kind of say like a story is never really over. It can always just start, or and also kind of tie in, every end is a beginning. So
And I think they do that too to also kind of be safe on any possible thing they have to.
yeah, yeah. All those kind of things just tie into one another because at the end of the day, as long as you can end and begin whenever you want to, like you can always tell different
You're
stories and
good.
change the rules.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could change the
you're
rules,
good.
bro. Like when a universe starts over, who says the rules of the universe got to be the same every time, right? Exactly.
Word, nah, you're good. You're
Like this
right
is
about
why they can create worlds where heroes are different genders, different names, different people in the same timeline as the same person who was originally that hero. So that's the cool stuff about a multiverse and stuff like that. Like the stories are literally infinite. They could just go on a rated R spree for the next like 20 years if they wanted to. That shit would be
it. It makes
awesome.
sense too.
But
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's how
yes.
they do.
So back to the episode though. Um, we have
Yeah,
now
so
gotten into the good parts where Scott and Professor X are heading to Asteroid M, and they're dealing
this
with
fight is
like
pretty cool.
because we haven't even discussed the fact that Robert at the end of the episode, Charles tried to get through to Magneto and have his big old come on man, you're killing the world, you're doing more harm than good by doing what you're doing. And Magneto's like, but dog, these humans don't care about us. I keep telling you this. They keep proving it. They keep proving it. And you want to be this good guy. And he basically is like, well, you left everything to me. And he got real petty here. He was like, "Why you ran off with your bird queen?" Which somebody brought up
Magneto,
something in a video that I was watching, and I'm gonna bring it up later on. But I'm gonna try
Magneto
to
wasn't
remember.
having it.
Hopefully, I'm not watching this video later and I see this part, and then I'm like, "Damn, I never brought it up." Because I did that in the video. I think I did it in the Rebel Moon one video. I said something I wanted to bring up, and I never brought it up. So let's not do it again. But so you get Magneto, and he's basically like, bro, one, you left everything to me. I don't know if you could just come back to Earth after you faked your death and take everything back that easily, my boy. So,
I nigga like
one, I'm gonna come over on this side and I'm gonna save my X Men, and you're gonna stay on that side, and you gonna save my X Men, and whoever want to go, whoever at the end of the day. Well, these are all adults,
yeah.
correct? So, at the end of the day, they did that, and Rogue and Roberto go over to Magneto's side.
Sunspot, nigga.
I'm gonna call him Roberto. Sunspot sounds crazy.
That's what he called
Like I get it, I
himself.
get it. That's it. Do I gotta stick with his name? I mean,
I mean, he's like a little sunspot though. Off of like, think about it. How the sun be.
guess right because everybody else I do call by their mutant name. Like who do I call? I don't call Wolverine Logan. I mean,
I usually call.
but we've called
I usually
Cyclops
call
Scott all
them.
the time.
And I usually call Cable Nathan.
Yeah, so Roberto. Anyways, that's how he was introduced to me. He was originally Roberto. For like eight
I always
episodes, he
call
was
Beast
Roberto.
Hank. I be like, I don't say Beast. I always say Hank. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Roberto has been Roberto for 8 episodes, and he just became Sunspot. Come on, man. Like I wasn't reading the comics to know that. So, boom.
Yo, no lie.
Anyways,
I just heard it in the last episode. Oh, I said, oh, his name is Sunspot.
yeah, whatever. Cool. Sunspot. Gotcha. Roberto. But anyway, so Rogue and Roberto joined with Magneto. They took his side because they have reason to. Rogue lost Gambit to humans, and basically, Roberto literally watched his parents give him up to the other side, and what do they feel like they got to defend humans for? And that's why I felt like the mom thing was always vital because that wouldn't mean anything. Roberto would just be going to Magneto's side for just like what he sees in the world, not what he sees in his own life.
If I was a
If it
mutant, I
wasn't for
would
his
kill all
mom.
humans.
If they was acting like they acting in the fucking X Men, ah,
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, nah, if I was like in
Professor
that
X,
world,
I'd be telling Professor X every time I see him, I fucks with you. You're a
I'd
cool
slap the
dude.
shit out of Professor X.
Nah, you're a cool dude. But I'm a Magneto boy. Like, don't
Nah,
fuck with me, and I won't fuck with you. But if I see you
I'll
on the
be
battlefield, my man, I'm coming to you
I'll
first.
be disrespecting Charles. He'll be brain blasting me like every time he sees me, he'll know this nigga gonna slap the shit out of me. As soon as I see him, that's gonna be my thoughts. Oh, that's Charles. Like,
Like, is that Charles? What other bald nigga in a green suit is in a wheelchair?
the fucking sleek eyebrows and shit.
Word, this nigga gets up and waxes him shit like them niggas with the fancy mustaches. He does his eyebrows with that shit. He got him, boy. That shit crazy. But
But yeah, like, yeah, you
yeah, before we
stupid.
get into a whole string of just roasting Charles, bro.
Niggas started roasting this nigga.
And it all
Yo,
stemmed off of
yo,
him looking funny, and then we led into
this
something
nigga
else,
is
tried to get
crazy.
back to the show, and then got back to roasting Charles again almost. Damn, Charles, I'm sorry, because I do fuck with you. But like I said, I'm with
Yeah,
Magneto, my boy.
yeah, nah, yeah,
Magnus.
definitely.
Anyways,
So them niggas went with him. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
to go
Rogue
fight
and
Magnus. I'm gonna call him Magnus
Roberto
from here on out.
Magnus. Yeah, I'm about to say because I like that name better.
I
They
don't, but
went
it's
with
funny.
Magnus. You feel what I'm saying? So now, like I said, I already explained those fights. So now Charles, Jubilee, and what's the other person name? Somebody else, Nightcrawler. Somebody else too is
Wolverine
headed
was up
towards.
there.
Oh, Scott, Cyclops. Yeah,
Oh,
they headed to where. Oh, and Wolverine too. They headed to fight. Magneto. Like, yo, my nigga, turn back on the lights, my nigga. You gotta wash up. Why you wildin'? Like, you feel what I'm saying? You're
I'm
bugging
washing
right
my
now.
ass in the dark right now, and I don't like that.
Like, you feel me? Like, come on, he was wildin'.
Can't
So
even turn on the stove.
Charles like, yo, I got a brain blast this nigga. Get the nigga helmet off. Y'all know the same old story with Magneto. He got to get the helmet off. So Charles, you know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of happened. Rogue is fighting them. Um, Roberto, he's going against Jubilee. That was pretty. Whatever they fighting. Jubilee's not having nothing. You know what I'm saying? Karen, she's like, nigga,
She said, I don't give a
you
fuck
nigga.
about none of these words. Your actions said enough.
Yeah, nah, she like, fuck you, nigga. So
Magneto
basically,
man.
I forget how the nigga helmet comes off, but it does come off. Gets knocked off. Charles basically brain blasts him, starts to take control of him, right? But then Magneto power kicks in. He like, oh, I'm strong. I'm Magnus. He
Mm-hmm.
like hits them. He controls the the magnetic fields. Hits them with the metal. Everybody splits. Everybody but Wolverine came up
Yo,
behind him.
but we do got to admit that nigga got launched earlier. That's what it is. That's why it's like this because Wolverine
Oh,
got launched and he just thought
oh,
he
that
was
is
out of the
true.
picture. We thought he
Yeah,
was just out of the picture for a little minute.
because regularly Magneto is launching Wolverine. So, and that's what he did. He
Yep.
just launched him. Like, you
And
feel what I'm saying?
Wolverine
So
hits him with a line.
he came back with he came back with another G. That was crazy.
Do you know? I was about to say, were you gonna say it or am I gonna say
Nah,
it?
nah, go ahead. If you know it straight, go ahead. I was going like chop it up.
It's something like the brave go first.
Yeah,
Because I
he was
guess
like in a
Magneto
war.
says this to him at some point.
He said in a war, some shit that brave always goes first. Or the good, or the
Oh,
good always
the
die
brave
first. Some shit.
always go
All
first.
right, my
Brave.
bad, my bad, my bad, my
I
bad.
know it's the brave for sure. And and then he strikes Magneto in the back, right in the fucking stomach. And this
But he's
nigga
crazy because
Magneto,
he didn't go for the. He's like fucking Thor. Why
because
would you not go for the head or the heart?
I don't think his intention was to kill. I think if
Yeah,
it was to kill, he would have did that.
probably was just to main him real
And
bad. Yeah,
also, it's a Marvel cartoon. Can't do that, you know.
that's exactly
But
what he did. He did main him real bad.
but at the end of the day,
Then he got
I
me.
instantly thought this. I was like, if anybody's being brave right now, it's you, Wolverine.
Like real, me
Like,
too.
if
Me too.
anybody's
You
being
pretty
brave
close.
right now, you're being Mr. Metal Man over here.
He was like this close up on a nigga, y'all. He was like,
You forgetting that you're
the,
Mr. Metal Man over here,
he's like the
bro. Like,
brave. Nigga whisper in his ear, the brave die first.
yeah, and Magnus is probably sitting there looking to the left, whispering back at him, "Yeah, you," because he done
Bitch.
force pushes this off like what's his name, Pain and Naruto force pushes this nigga the fuck away. Mighty push, whoosh, and then he gets jiggy. These niggas, they already knew what was about to happen. These niggas all jaw dropped. This nigga Magnus said, no more of this shit. Started pulling this nigga's adamantium off of him and literally strips him of the
No, no,
adamantium.
no, 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 no. Specifically, because we got to stick on the war line. He rebutted like a battle rapper. Nigga said, finally, this war is over. That nigga rebutted and
Because
then
he
snapped
knew
his
that there
shit.
was a super gripe between them two. Wolverine
Bro, right.
hates this thing.
He
Anytime,
rebutted that line.
like to go to it some more Marvel shit. Like when they was talking about how to defeat Thanos and Don Cheadle, who we now know was actually a scroll at this point. At that point, Don Cheadle was in there just talking about the strangle the baby and all that. Like that's how Wolverine be feeling anytime Magneto come up. Can we just kill him? Can I just kill this nigga? Like we not just running in there and bodying this nigga? Because
That was the scroll who wanted to just kill the baby. That was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how Wolverine be on that type of timing. If they said we gotta go back in time and kill Magnus before when he's a kid, Wolverine would be like, "Can we just kill the little nigga?"
That nigga be like, shing. Come on, bro.
I'm good at killing.
Like,
Like,
whoa,
I'm
my
really good
nigga.
at
Whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa.
I've been in a lot
Can
of
that be like that?
wars. I've been in a lot
That
of
should be
wars. I've
the
been seeing
fourth,
kids do some
fifth,
crazy things. It's easy for me.
sixth option. That should not be the first option. It should be like far away from the first.
Not with Wolverine, bub. But yeah. So that's how the second episode ends with everybody in their jaw on the fucking floor because including the
Yeah.
characters in the show because Wolverine just got
He
all the
rips the
adamantium
animated
pulled
out
out
of
of his
him.
body.
Yeah. Rips that shit out of his body, man. Get out of
All
here.
them niggas was so shell shocked at what was happening. They ain't even try to run and stop this nigga, bro. I mean, it was like
They
couldn't really
couldn't.
do
Yeah,
nothing.
they was bound.
Yeah, I
It
know
was
they
pretty
couldn't
cool
really
because if
do
you
nothing.
familiar with the comic book, that's the exact which I
It was
wasn't.
the
You know what I'm saying?
scene.
I learned this from online. Yeah. That was the exact same comic book.
They
I
just
thought that was pretty
redrew it
cool.
for the cartoon with that little still frame, and that was cool.
Kudos to them because that was pretty dope.
It was pretty cool. And then the final episode, you know.
Oh wait. Oh no, it does end there. Final. Yeah, because it ends right with. Hey, yeah, you're right. And then he Charles versus Xavier, which is pretty. It was alright.
I
It's
must
like the one
enter
time
his
I said Charles.
mind.
That nigga was bugging. He was like, Magnus, yeah, cut it out.
We're in a
Like he was
bar,
bugging.
Magnus. Me and you having a drink. Rediscover who
So,
you really are.
so that's exactly how they started off. Like how he said, they're like having a fucking bar because now Charles has entered, Magnus' mind. He's wounded, killed Wolverine, tired, he's been stabbed.
Meanwhile,
Easy
he's
to
in
get in his
real
mind.
life, like on the floor in his wheelchair.
Yeah, that nigga like that nigga Charles took advantage. Come here, nigga. That
Enter your
nigga touched his.
mind, and that nigga body just laying there like.
Ah. So yeah, now they're like he like in their mind, basically telling him like, yo, you gotta turn shit back on yourself. Things got too extreme, bugging. You just rip Wolverine's animanium bones out his body. Niggas sitting there like jelly right now. Sitting there like one of them niggas that smoked too much in the '90s, back on the couch. He's like, what the fuck
Hey,
is going
can
on?
I say this real quick though? A lot of people are tripping over that, but at the end of the
Really?
day, Wolverine is good because like the adamantium isn't what gives him
I'm about to say
regenerative
that
powers.
wasn't
He
his.
always
That's not
had
his
that.
mutant
Like,
powers, y'all.
yeah, so
That's
he's
make it clear.
fine.
That's clear the air.
He's
Wolverine
fine. He'll
power
be all
is
right.
not
He just don't got
adamantium.
metal on
Yeah,
his
like
bones no more. That's it.
yeah. But before he had metal in his bones, he had bone claws.
Go ahead, go back and watch Days of Future Past. I don't really care for that movie except for a couple scenes, but
Yeah, it's pretty
you'll
good
see.
for like he's saying. Like yeah, you'll see. He was a kid. He had bone claws. He had that operation like probably like 100 years later because the nigga's mad. Oh, his
He'll
heels.
wake up
I
at some
don't know
point.
what the fuck. Yeah,
So,
but yeah. So basically Magnus is like, nah, my nigga, because too many times you let them slide. I don't know why you riding for bugging SMD. You know what I'm saying? Charles is like, oh, word?
well,
No, no.
their conversation is more. Cause remember, they're recreating a conversation, their original conversation when they were first like getting acquainted with each other.
Someone
And
when they in the bar?
yeah, because they didn't. Cause remember, they didn't even know. They were recreating the idea of the conversation about them coming out as being mutants. And I want
Well,
to bring up
Xavier knew,
something
but
else.
Charles did.
This is where I want
Magnus
to bring
ain't
up
know.
something else. I I had to think about it because some video review that I watched brought it up, and I've seen it in like two reviews actually. They they felt like this was a nod at Xavier and Magneto being a thing, and
I always thought that. I always thought that was a thing.
so I
I
never
always
really
felt like
thought that. I just thought they were like two beefing used to be homies because they have
I
different
thought
ideas.
even in the movies, the live action movies, like with
They give off
them
those
like
vibes to you.
yeah, like yeah, but I always thought it was more like respected, like our missions are more important than whatever. So we gonna like just settle it as like a brotherly love thing, cause Magnus always say it like I love Charles, like he say that shit all the time, like he be
Yeah,
like that's
but I
my brother,
always just
that's
took
my.
that as like we homies, like we really used to be on the same team type shit. but
I mean, I mean,
like,
yeah, it's that, and I think it's also
okay,
like just a
so
touch
I'm
of
late to
like
the
just a
party that
tad
these
bit.
guys might be saucy. Okay, it's cool. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I
I
always
never
got
thought
just
of
a
it that
tad
way.
bit, like,
It's funny because like there's these two wrestlers named Pretty Deadly, and I fuck with them,
huh?
and it's like the reverse scenario. Like I assumed that they were gay because they're very flamboyant, and one day I commented on a Twitter thing, and they still be getting likes today. Like niggas be agreeing with me, but the comments be like, "Oh no, they were never gay. This, that, and the third. They're just flamboyant." And I'm like, "Oh well, my bad." like, shit. And it's so now it's the total opposite. But
I
Cause
mean,
but
yeah,
I
I mean,
definitely thought about it, and I was like, I can see moments, cause like the bird queen thing, that was super petty.
yeah,
For it
yeah,
to be your man's and shit like that, that's super petty to say. Like that's more
like a
like,
shot,
yeah,
yeah,
he took a
like,
jab
you
at
know
the
what I
new
mean?
girlfriend because he was upset.
I always thought it was something like,
He got a gift from
I mean,
Xavier. He got a gift from Xavier, the X Men in the mansion. He ain't want to get that shit back.
feel me? Like that's some petty shit.
So that's crazy because Magneto the one giving off girlfriend vibes.
Yeah,
If
I
it
think
really came down to
and
that, like
I
what?
admit, even in the live action movies, because but you know what
Scoring the
that's because
girlfriend vibes.
Magnus is way more emotional, honestly. So I think he gives that he's
Yeah,
way
his
more
emotions
emotional.
are obviously like a
Yeah,
driving force in why he
like
does the things
yeah,
he
you
does.
feel what I'm saying? So it's like I think unless it came out in the comic books that like official, I don't know. But yeah, I've always thought it was like just a tad bit. I thought like
Implied.
98% brotherly love and 2% like like you know what I'm saying, like something else.
Hey, I
But
mean,
yeah, though,
hey, well,
yeah,
they
that's all
said
right. Shit,
that. Yeah, they said it. Now I thought
yeah,
about it. Now, like, okay, cool. I can
I
see where
don't,
they're coming from now. These two dudes are crazy,
man.
Like they are a little extra with their little love you but hate you thing going on.
Right. Like back, it's like really like a ping pong. All right, when is this game gonna end?
Never. When you think they're good, they
Never.
find a reason to fall out.
Nigga
Toxic
came back
relationships
million.
all
Nigga
they were the
traveled a
first ever
million light
toxic
years.
relationship. Boom.
Nigga traveled a million light years to have an argument. First thing they did was have an argument. Bitch, where you been?
I need to go talk to
you,
Magnus.
nigga said you was with that other hoe, huh? You was with that other hoe. Fuck.
and
He
you
said
only
no,
came
no,
and you ain't
no.
even come back for me. You came back for your X-Men.
You came back for them, Charles. For them.
Not me.
That nigga
And
Magnus is
this is
turf.
why we always fight. Because you
I'm back
always
here
doing
getting
this
whooped.
shit.
I'm back here getting whooped like a slave. They had me tied up, Charles.
You ain't
They
even
had me
care.
tied up.
Did you care? Or were you more concerned with the humans?
Oh man, so funny,
Those
man.
goddamn humans. Why don't you just go be with the humans, Charles? Since they're more fun.
Oh, but yeah, let's get back on track, yeah. Where the fuck were we? God damn it. Nigga Magnus is crazy.
So Bastion is out here fucking shit up. There we go. We're starting off basically where Cable and Jean Grey, he
Oh, that
blasts
was a
her.
cool one.
They presume she's dead. Sinister's out here, being sinister with his shark teeth. Bastion is about to off this nigga Cable. He about to off this nigga Nathan. He done ripped his fucking arm off and shit on some fucking Winter Soldier type
No,
shit.
not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. That happened
Oh,
right after that. No, that happened right after this part. Right after the part you were about to say. Right after it, because she loses. All right, I'm gonna just jump into it. So yeah, so Jean Grey is presumably dead. They're about to peel off Nathan, I think,
And a
and
big old
Sinister's like, hold up,
sunbird.
yeah, and then Jean Grey pops back up as
Yeah,
Phoenix.
which was obvious because they were. But
Yeah,
that's why
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
are
I
you
felt
sure that that happens after? Because I felt like they were in a situation where it
yeah.
was like shitty as shitty could get, and
Nah,
then
nah.
the
See what
bird
happened
popped
was
up.
she put the shit back on the nigga head, the thing that was that disconnected him from the Sentinel. So when she did that, all the Sentinels died. She burnt the shit off Sinister. That nigga looked like an ugly ass troll. Cause
Hey,
Sinister is basically,
all those sentinels being chopped up and shit, is that not all technically murder?
yo. I was thinking that. See, if we get back to episode 2 between Nightcrawler and Wolverine, technically them niggas was peeling off people. Like they was killing them with the swords.
That's what
Nightcrawler
I'm.
had the sword,
But those people like
and Wolverine had the
rejoin their
claws.
bodies and shit like that. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I
Oh, that
swear
is
these
true. Yeah,
niggas
they
was
was
killing
rejoining their
people,
body.
bro.
I don't know. I don't know if some of them stayed there. I really don't know what's going on. Maybe I don't know. This would be weird. But anyway, they all dropped. They didn't show what happened to them. They dropped like flies because the disconnection the connection wasn't there anymore. And then she loses the power of the Phoenix. She's like, oh, it was there. I felt it crawling in me to help my son. You know, as Norm was talking to her. And then the nigga gets back up. Then
Phoenix
the
came
nigga
up
gets
talking
Bashing.
shit. He was like, nigga, you know
Bashing gets
insignificant powers, bro. You think you hot.
yeah. That
I'm
shit was
literally
funny.
a
She burned the shit off of
firebird. You
Sinister.
think you're hot.
That shit was funny. But yeah, burning up the powers of Sinister. That was dope. That was dope. I like how they added that in.
Yo, she pulled that nigga up and said, bro, you don't even deserve this shit. So honestly, I'm gonna take it from you.
Yeah, she said all these
D block,
powers you had
nigga.
just you yeah, it's not
These
even
don't even
yours.
exist anymore. My Hero Academia shit.
But yeah, but then Bastion gets back up. See, they let their guard down like X-Men, and Bastion gets back up. That's when he slaps Cable across the shit. He slaps
Nigga
Jean Grey.
Cable
Then
said,
he rips
don't
his arm
ever
off.
doubt my mother or some shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, shit. Nah, that's
Yeah,
your mom.
yeah. I know, man. Like, come on, son. Come on.
Conflicted ass child, man. You like 48 years old, man. You still a conflicted child, bro. Like, come on,
Take a while, and get
man.
over that shit. um, but yeah, Bastion gets back up, takes the arm, whoops Cable ass with it on some like we with the soldier shit, and then he actually morphs with it. He actually morphs with it. I think that's when actually if we go back to about accepting thing, I think that's when that's like a I don't know if that's a power or sentinel
You
power.
blanked out
Well,
real quick.
oh, my fault, my fault. I was saying that I don't know if that's his. Was that his mutant power or Sentinel power that morphed with his with Cable's arm?
Well, I'm gonna assume that's his like mutant ability. I'm gonna assume that because
So I'm gonna
I
say
don't
I'm
think
gonna go
Sentinels
back.
be doing that. The Sentinels don't do
Yeah,
that until
right.
like
So
Bastion
I'm gonna
started
go
making them.
back. I'm gonna go back to when you spoke about him accepting the mutant side of him. I think that's when he started to accept it because that was the first time he used his mutant powers. If that's the case, like that we saw. Like everything else was just Sentinel power. He was just controlling machines and shit.
Yeah, but I think he's been using it. Like, how is he turning? Like, he had to figure out a way to do these humans and the Sentinels.
I mean,
Like, yeah.
that's his power, of course. Like he's constantly using to control them.
But
Yeah,
he
but I
used
mean,
it on
like,
himself and shit like that,
yeah,
and
that's what I
just
mean. An actual,
turned
like, yeah,
himself.
like a
But think
display of
about
it.
it, he
Like
was
he never do
already
that.
turned into a Sentinel himself, and I feel like that means he's done it to himself at that point. So it's
No,
not.
remember they did it to him at birth. He grew up like that. Like he grew up like they put the shit in him. He grew up like that. I don't know. We got
But he
to.
looked like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He looked
Cause
like a
he do look
human,
like that.
but he
Yeah,
was
they
already
do.
at a wasn't he already at a point where he was like kind of beat the fuck up and like kind of looking
Little
robotic
son,
already
yeah.
at this point. So like
Cause you know what? I think
and then he
they,
changed
they beat him
again.
up in X-Men animated series, the original one.
Yeah,
That's where he
he was a
originally is
villain
from.
from the original series.
Yeah, that's it.
But
So you right, kind of right about that. Yeah, you right about that.
well, either way, he is not feeling what's going on, and he kind of just like handles business, and then he starts heading up to Asteroid M because he's like, I'm about to just blow this shit up and cause more ruckus. So like, there's more turmoil between humans and X Men and shit like that. So he starts heading up there, and Xavier's all up in the system of Magneto. Still talking to this nigga, still trying to convince him that he's some good guy and shit like that. While
That
everybody's
story
trying to
was mad
figure out what's
long.
going on. Yeah, it was. I felt drawn out, but it had to be drawn out because they had to save it for that very end of the
That
episode.
very
And like you couldn't just like escape the fact that that was going on, so you had to revisit it every so often. So yeah, it felt dragged out, but it kind of had to be, sadly enough. But they're all up there now. Bastion gets up there finally. You know, he's about to blow some shit up, and Rogue comes out of nowhere.
starts whooping ass, man. She
His
starts whooping
name's
ass.
Gambit. Remember it.
She
Every time
starts she
she
starts
does some
whooping
cool
ass.
Gambit shit, I'm upset. Like when she had the jacket on, I don't think.
She had the jacket on and then she joined
And then
Magneto.
yeah, it
Like,
had
bitch,
the nerve to
ooh!
join him in that jacket. Oh,
So,
and
ooh, you
then put that
stingy
shit on
bitch,
Xavier. Then
selfish
put that shit
bitch.
on Xavier, bro. Like basically placing his death on him. Oh
Like if I could
boy.
touch you right now, bitch, I would slap you too. It'd be you and Charles. Can't even slap her though. You die.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Like I can't even physically slap you. Like I'm like,
Like you can't even
my,
do that. But you, oh
my
shit,
hand
you be
went
fuck,
limp. Like
you be
it's such a
fucked
quick
up.
hit, so you don't lose mad powers, but it's like your hand just goes noodly and shit like
Like,
that.
bitch,
Yeah,
bitch.
man. But
But yeah,
then
Bastion starts kicking ass too though.
yeah,
Up
but
there,
she
he
was
starts
rocking
kicking
him.
ass.
She was rocking his shit.
Yeah.
I think he was letting her rock his shit though.
I mean, cause after a while he just I ain't gonna front. He disappeared on her. I said, oh shit. He grabbed her by the neck, tossed her. I said, oh no, no,
He turned into an
playing.
anime villain on these niggas a little bit.
Yeah. He was about to do her in, but then Nightcrawler caught him. His disappearing neck fucked with him a little bit. You know, him and Scott started going at it. That was a dope scene.
Nah, this nigga
Him and
turned on his PC hacks and wall hacked my nigga Nightcrawler. Cause how the fuck do you know where he's coming from? Like the I know he leaves a
that was
smell,
crazy.
but
Yeah.
the smell don't happen. I guess I would assume until he actually appears and the smoke cloud is there. So like I'm pretty sure you
That
can't
was
smell
crazy.
him coming or anything like that.
I'm like,
Caught
what is
that
the fuck
nigga.
is Bastion? He's a basset hound anyway. How the fuck you gonna smell him that like quickly? Like,
Nigga
come on,
said, "Koof, doof, boom."
man. But yo, him and Cyclops is going at it. The mega beam from Cyclops, that shit was fire. I was waiting to see it. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
Super blast.
Later
That's
on
the
in
shit
the
you see in the
episode.
X Men versus Capcom. You know
Later
that's
on
actually
in the
right after
episode.
that's actually right after he gets rid of Nightcrawler. Throws him. Cyclops starts shooting at him.
He
Start
did
going at it
no,
right
cause he
there.
no, he does the mega beam when he doesn't he do the mega beam when he goes to blow up the shit.
He does it twice. He does it when him and Bastion is shooting beams, and then Scott is like, "You'll never hurt my family again." You know how Scott get corny and shit like,
Oh
"You'll
yeah, he
never hurt
took the
my family
glasses
again."
off and
That
shit.
nigga took that shit off. Yeah, that shit went shit. That shit was fire. But
Yeah, that
that
was
shit
a
was
good
dope.
fight. That whole fight scene,
That was
the
nah.
Bastion fight
Uh,
was a good solid fight, honestly.
oh, Juba, nah, we can't even skip over Lee versus Bastion. That
Jubilee
shit
was
was
kind of
fire.
twerking in there, man. She got her shit
She was
rocked.
getting, she was getting it. Then first she did that
Black, he
will
said,
shit
"What
that
you
she
gonna
learned.
do? Hurt you? Unfortunately, lie me to death or some shit like that." Like try to sneak a little jab in, and she's like, "Oh yeah, so funny."
She got it in. She got it in. She grabbed that nigga face, tossed that nigga. Now any other person is Bastion, so we gotta understand his face morphed back together. But right before he morphed, you seen it was like melted acid and shit like that. Think about that. Any other person, please killing, like dead. Like any other mutant, they are dead. Like you're done. Like
Melted
any other
away.
mutant, you're done. Like so,
Wolverine's
I'm just
living,
getting.
but everybody else just melting away.
Right, yeah. I'm looking at it, I'm like, Dad, you kind of powerful. Yeah, I think, that me, I'm a novice. I'm sort of a novice to X-Men, admittedly, even though I like them for years. I haven't dived deep into, like, you know what I'm saying, who's more powerful. Like, I'm a
Um,
little more than a novice, but, you know what I'm saying? But even so, I didn't know Jubilee was, I didn't never put her on a power scale. I always put her
and
low.
I'm
She's
pretty
pretty
sure I've
strong, man.
seen her do a couple things that the older Jubilee did in that one episode.
Oh, with the wheel. She threw the wheel at her. At him. That shit was fire.
So like,
Fire.
good callback. Good way to make a boring filler episode useful, purposeful.
Right, yeah, matter of fact, 'cause that was the one.
That was the one episode that we were like, was like, meh, 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
Get it out of here. But now it's useful and purposeful. So there that goes. So that big old fight is going on, And eventually that thing does blow up, right? And it starts making like a vortex and all that shit. And
Yeah, Bastion
well,
gets sucked in.
well, I'm skipping parts because the Sentinel bot comes in. It's Hank and them and the Sentinel bot about to squish this
Oh yeah.
nigga. And right when this nigga's lifting it, and they was all like, "Yo, we about to gotta blast this nigga some more." Scott goes, "Hey, hey, guns down, fellas. Let's start embracing the future." And Aurora's
Nigga
instantly
said
on that time.
guns.
And Aurora's instantly on that time. And she was like, "I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing. Go ahead." This she basically
You
gave
know
him
why,
the.
yo?
This is why you a good leader.
She's really on that peaceful shit. Like I'm an old man. I would slap the shit out of anybody trying to.
Well, I
She's
mean,
really on that shit at all times. Like I'm not even talking about in this. At all times, she's like that.
let me ask you this though:
Nigga.
in any situation, in any scenario, what do you think would get the better outcome if people were reasonable and enough people were doing it at the same time? A peaceful approach,
I,
or I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you approach?
we can split the. I mean, that of course the peaceful. So we could, Charles Way. I always agree with Charles Way, but I just feel like if we
Realistic way to
apply
what the
it to the
world is,
real world,
yeah, the realistic way of what the
if we
world
apply it to
is,
the real
you gonna
world.
have to smack a nigga every now and then because it's never gonna
Yeah, I'm
get
about
to
to
that
say.
peaceful phase.
I was just about to say that. I was
That
about to
peaceful
say we're
place is
gonna
like is
have to.
just dreams and shit like that. Really.
But yo, real quick though, I want to say I like the cameo. Oh no, we already shot out the cameos. I had the cameos written
Oh,
down.
we can
The
do it
Peter
again.
Parker, Mary Jane, the Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and the Flash was dope. Now that you confirmed that was Flash Thompson, that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Who else they
I
had?
think it more just confirms that they're actually gonna do the reboot.
The Daredevil, that was dope.
I feel like we're definitely
So
getting the Spider-Man joint now. After that,
you know what? Spider Man. What I found interesting. Off topic again. We getting off topic with a lot of shit. Fucking she's coming back. The aunt.
hey.
Yeah, she's coming back. I think that's so cool. I read that. I don't know how they did. They didn't. They just confirmed that she's coming back.
Oh, so they're basically
I think.
telling us that yeah, we're getting Spider-Man back. I think once they saw the success of
I
X
don't
Men, they were
know.
like, "Fuck it, let's just do it." Like fuck
Yeah,
it, why not?
I don't know. I don't know how Venom is gonna tie it to. Look, we're getting off top of everything. This is all the same world. This is a crazy. This is gonna turn into a whole fucking crazy discussion at the end. It's never gonna end.
Yeah,
Could never
but
end. Let's finish this episode. This episode. All right. So fucking, they're having a fight. Bastion, Cyclops, all of them. Like he said, they stomping on
Vortex.
him. Cyclops is like, oh, guns down, boom. You know what I'm saying? Vortex pops open. Oh yeah, because the shit explodes, pops open. Um, Cyclops is like, Bastion, take my hand. He's like, ha, nah, I'm out of here. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Before this though, this is
Yeah.
where he gets into his little rant and speech when Scott tries to like tend to his humanity. He was
Oh
like, "Bro,
yeah. They
fuck
don't
what
like
you
that.
trying to talk about. You
Yo.
trying to talk about? I'm trying to help humans, and honestly, humans don't even fuck with us." And that's where he slipped up
Yeah.
and referred to him as one of them and
Yeah.
us.
He said they only want to have no more kids like
Because
some
Scott
shit
went and
like that.
told that nigga that his mom lied to him, and he was like, "Yeah, she did it to protect me." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, that was her idea to protect you." But Professor X wanted to take you in, and she said no. So, because that's when, cause remember, we forgot that to talk about that part where Professor X explains
Yeah,
that
you're right.
who Bastion is, the story
That was
behind
important to
Bastion.
why he didn't go take their
It
hand. Cause
wasn't because Professor X didn't want him, it's because his mom didn't want him going out there and living a mutant life
yeah,
and
yeah.
being looked at weirdly. So she was almost like Roberto's mom, just more sheltering. So you got to see both sides of it. The mom, the parent that was just like, "You're a mutant. You better keep that shit on the wraps, or I'm gonna disown you." And then the parent who found out she was a mutant and
Only
protect
because
her
she knew though. Because I feel like Roberto mom in the same way if he was a mutant as a baby. She would have been. Remember, she
she
tried to
kind
hide
of
them.
yeah, but think about it. Roberto's mom didn't really like act like she didn't know when he said it. She was just like, "Oh, yeah,
Oh, you mean like
okay."
his mom was in denial? His mom was.
Nah, his
That's what.
mom just kind of was like, "I already knew you were a mutant."
No, I'm talking about you said Bastion mom was in denial. Like you're
Nah,
not a mutant.
Bastion's mom was more like, no, I felt like she felt the same way. Like she knew her kid was a mutant. She was more on the tip of like the world is not gonna accept you, so I want to keep
Oh,
that a secret.
I understand. I understand. I understand.
Like I don't want you going to Professor X and running around with the X Men because what does that mean if you're running around with Professor X? you're a mutant.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody know. Yeah, nah, facts.
and the mom for
So yeah,
Roberta was more trying to protect her own image than necessarily protect her son.
oh yeah, she was definitely trying to protect. She got money, some
Yeah,
type of,
exactly. She
I
was a
forgot.
big old like CEO type shit, business
Yeah,
partner.
I forgot.
So back to that, Bastion, like you said, they offer to help him and keep him from falling into this vortex. This nigga scoffed at the idea. He looked back, he said, and just jumped. It just jumped. I thought that was such a good moment where he just like
But you know
laughed
what?
at
When
the
he
idea.
jumped, I was thinking like, I don't think he made it into the vortex because as soon as he blew up, I mean, it could be that split second cartoon shit. It make
Maybe
I don't
him
know.
entering the vortex is what caused that combustion.
Magneto wakes up.
As they finish their conversation in the brain. But what I will give the conversation in the brain is I like that, Xavier just didn't like take over Magneto and just forcefully do the thing. He talked
Oh
to
yeah,
Magneto and like kind of talked Magneto. He basically did Inception and talked Magneto into doing the right thing.
to doing the right thing. Yeah, basically, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. He
Almost
woke
like
up.
did a reset on his brain. He was like, "Let's start over." and
The ash,
and give you a new purpose.
the asteroid is falling at this time because it blew up. Jean Grey and all them they put in their powers to trying to stop the asteroid from falling to Earth.
And
Because if
Scott's
it
like, I'll
does, we
blow
all
this shit
die.
up. I'll blow this shit up and stay on the shit. Get everybody else off.
My man Hank was like, "Nah, let's think about this." Somebody was like, "Shut up, Hank." But so he went in the corner and thought a little bit more. That he came back and was like, hold on, I really got it. He came back. He came up with a plan. You know, typical plans. The asteroid fall. What could you do? Basically, try to slow it down. Like basically, Avengers stopping Ultron. You know what I'm saying? Give it
Oh
some
yeah, the
force and shit.
government did shoot missiles at this shit. Don't forget
Oh yeah,
that.
that's why the missile. Well, that's why the asteroid is falling. Yeah, can't forget that because the government had this Magneto plan where he's up on asteroid M and they're going to destroy the whole thing,
Whenever he was
and
bugging the fuck
forget
out. Yeah,
that
they had
it's
a
gonna.
Magneto protocol.
They're just gonna forget that it's gonna fall to Earth, which it did. So now they're scared. Oh, everybody's down there. Oh,
No, it
yeah,
was
bitch, can
falling
you
for
please?
some other reason because the engine was blown up and it started falling. They shot at it because that was their protocol, but they used it to try to blow the asteroid up so it wouldn't destroy the Earth
Oh, but
or
then the
that area.
engine.
And it
Oh,
just and
okay,
it, remember
okay.
because they said it failed because it didn't blow the rock up. Those
Yeah, yeah,
missiles hit
yeah.
this shit and it just didn't do enough. So
It wasn't going. It wasn't gonna blow the rock up anyway. Yeah, you're right
yeah,
about
so they was
fell.
like, damn, the
Yeah,
protocol failed. We were not. So honestly, their protocol was bad from the get go because it wouldn't have succeeded even if it wasn't falling. But
Magneto would have laughed at that shit.
yeah. Now you just gave me even more reason to fuck y'all up.
I'm gonna kill you niggas.
Magneto protocol, cute. Like, would
Yeah,
he just
right.
like kind of like do his metal thing to the missiles? I ain't even gonna throw them back at you, right? I'm gonna just let you. I'm gonna
Alright.
let them go in outer space. Show you I could have did it.
Shit
I
going
coulda.
hit.
I coulda.
Shit go right around and hit each other. Boom.
But
Man, come
yeah.
on, man.
So
All right.
like you
So
said,
yeah, Magneto's
Magneto
back
wakes
up. He's
up. I'm
he does the
Magneto. Ah!
follow.
And he fixes
And then
everything because Magneto's
yeah, he
just cool like
basically
that. That's why he's
yeah
the best
his
X Men.
magnet slows down the asteroid and as it back up in the air, it disappears.
Yeah, just bloop.
Yeah, it's just kind of like zaps out there.
And
Everybody's
Forge is
like,
like,
yeah,
no, I just got a girlfriend. She's gone. Back to my hand. No.
and then they fast forward a month later where Bishop shows up at Forge. Forge doesn't know Bishop at each other. And he's explaining to him like, well, it's not
So pissed
where
that
they,
Bishop just showed up.
it's when they are.
And
I know,
Bishop
cause
was
like,
like,
where you
dog,
been at the whole
I know
no.
you. You just don't know me. We gonna be like best friends when you finally do get to know me, though.
He was mad calm. Man. Like, that's why Forge wasn't even like he
He
was
was
jumping. He
like,
had his
dog,
gun on
you
him,
a
but
nigga, I'm a nigga. Chill the fuck out.
like, word.
Come on, man. You see this skin tone, man. I ain't about to hurt you.
And then we gonna wrap this up with N Sabanor. They get to that.
Yeah.
They enter.
Yo,
They
so this could be a talk though. This might take a couple minutes to talk about
This
because
was pretty cool. This was pretty cool. This was pretty cool. Honestly, I like that.
we'll breeze through this. So basically, one group gets sent to the future on some weird planet. The other group gets sent to the past. I forget which group is which. Well, it's Gene and Scott who are sent to the fucking future, and then it's
And they meet who?
hey,
Slow
wait a
down.
minute,
They
I'm
meet.
getting there, I'm getting there, I got you. But then
I'm
you
just
get
saying. I'm
like
just saying.
Rogue, Professor X, Magneto, and Hank. They're all in the past in
And
Egypt or some
Charles.
shit. In
Oh, Professor X.
Charles,
Sorry.
in
My bad.
Charles, yeah, I
Oh,
know.
Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was there.
Oh yeah,
Too.
Nightcrawler. Yes. So they're all there in the past. So what's going on with Gene and Scott so we can get there? Because I know Mo is anxious for this part because this is good, honestly.
Cause I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. Basically, they
I
meet
don't know
this
what the name
plane.
of
I
that
forgot the
group is.
lady
What's the name
name.
of that group?
Yeah,
Because
me
whatever
neither.
her
It's
name
like the
is the name of that group. I know that
we're
much.
gonna. It's something close to Asani. We're gonna go with Asani right
I
now.
think that's
She's
it.
like, you can call
Like
me
it's like
Mother
Hassani or
Asani.
something like that. Yeah, that's her name.
It, some shit like that. He said, you call me Mother Hassani, and this is the Hassani clan, and you know what I'm saying. And this little boy is like looking at from afar.
Hey, come meet
He's
this
like,
motherfuckers.
yeah. Say, I don't sense nothing wrong with them. And then comes out the gate, and it's little Nathan, it's little Cable.
They
I
said,
think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I think that's cool. They get that reconnection. We get to find out what happened. We're gonna find out what's going on in the story. I think that's dope. Saying they,
and then in the
you
past,
can take.
you see they're in like Egypt, and you see a bunch
Mm-hmm,
of fighting
mm-hmm.
going on. Well, they walk into a village, and then they see a bunch of fighting happening, and then
They was always whooping mutant asses. They didn't care.
yeah, but do they know he's a mutant at that point, or is he just like some guy they're
I think
fighting?
so. I think they're whooping his ass because he's a mutant. Like honestly.
Okay, maybe you're right
Like,
there.
I
Maybe
don't
you're right.
know.
Racism was
I
alive,
think
like, alive and well back
I
then.
just think so. Like,
People,
why else
humans
would
are
they whooping
humans.
this? Like,
Man, I don't know. Maybe they were the bad guys and he's the good guy in the
I mean, yeah,
situation.
you're right. He could have stolen an apple back in the day. Yeah, that's probably
Or
offensive
maybe
death.
or
You know what I'm
maybe they're just like
saying?
rebels who were like robbing the village and he's fighting them off. Like we don't even know that story yet. Because
It's pretty
Magneto
cool.
just swoops in and he just like stops the fighting. He like throws these niggas off because apparently in Magneto's mind, the one who's getting jumped gotta be the good guy, right? See, that's what Magneto was thinking.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so they all go to find out who he is, and he says, "I am El Salvador." Who, if you don't know, now you know is Apocalypse, which
Yeah, it's gonna be
causes
fun.
a whole bunch of theory talking about what the fuck is going on. Because that's a post credit clip at the end of the fucking season, or some shit like
Because then
that.
they bring it to the present. That's the past and the
And
future. They bring it to the
Big
present and they
El
show him.
Salvador shows up on regular present Earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now remember, El Salvador has already fought these niggas before, so this makes it even more interesting. And he lands on that Earth and he
Right.
grabs some dust on because he's in Genosha when he lands, and he's like, so much pain, hurt, death, my people.
It is crazy because they spent so much anime. They spent so much time in the animated fighting this nigga, and it
And
seemed
he's
like forever
back.
before they got rid of him. And
Well, I
as
have
far as I
theories.
remember, what's up? What's your theory? I have predictions.
Oh, you're like I'm super sure this is what it is. That's what you mean? Because that's a prediction. A theory is I'm taking a guess of what it might be. Prediction is kind of saying you know this is what it's gonna be. But who you
I
think?
know this.
How you think they got back into these places? How you think they just got teleported?
That I don't. I don't have.
I'm gonna take a wild stab at it because I was thinking this before I seen the videos or whatever I seen because they kind of mentioned the same thing. Kang the Conqueror, and could they be using Kang the Conqueror as the bigger bad than Apocalypse and giving the rightful beating of King the Conqueror to the X-Men so we can properly get King the Conqueror the fuck out of here? You're not
I
getting
don't know.
picked
I
up
didn't think of that. Oh, I said that's interesting. Maybe I didn't think of that at all. I
because
don't know.
it's all time loop shit, and who was just dealing with a bunch of time loop shit? Loki with King the Conqueror. All this writing a script to keep the loop going and stuff like that, so he would stay in power. So it's very similar if it's gonna play out the way I think, because I'm basically assuming that this is all gonna be a paradox loop going on, whatever they call those shits in the movies, where the events of the everything's gonna play into being one flowing circle, but you're not gonna know where it starts because that's how this works. Where this El Salvador, this apocalypse that lost to the X-Men back in the original series, came about from this original dude that they're going back to meet, who eventually, when they get together and they figure out how to get Scott and Jean back with the rest of the team and they figure out how to get back to their main timeline, is probably going to cause that El Salvador in Egypt to get to the future so he could get juiced the fuck up. And he's going to be in the future with Nathan and all that shit. And then he'll eventually make his way to Earth where he loses and then somehow goes back and to make sure that he devises this plan to make sure all this actually happens and again, so it loops back to this point to where he makes a plan to actually go back to present day where he goes to Genosha and goes to reenact his plan again.
I get.
That sounds crazy. I know it sounds
It
crazy
sounds.
because it never
But
sounds
you know
clean when
what?
you're talking about this type of shit.
One of my predictions is Cable versus Apocalypse. So I feel like he's in the
Yeah,
future. With Cable.
yeah, because I feel like the most of the season, like anything we're dealing with the X Men, like our original X Men, like Wolverine's knocked the fuck out somewhere right now. I don't
Right.
is Jubilee with any of them? I don't think so. Oh, to go back to
He's
when
with some
Scott
spot.
to go back to when Scott and Jean landed on their little their little future planet, wherever it is. This nigga Scott was like, Jean, where are you? Look left and right, up and down. This motherfucker here. She was like 4 feet away from this nigga.
He's like Scott, calm the fuck down.
Like he's like, where are you? I can't find.
She like I could hear all your scary ass thoughts, nigga.
Like
Fuck.
nigga, like she was as far away from him as my couch is from me right now, bro. Like, like bro,
Pat
what's
that
your
nigga
eye?
on
His eyes wasn't
pat
working
that
or
nigga
something
on
like
her
that.
shoulder. Bro, relax. Can you
I'm
see
right here. You blind or something?
it?
Yeah, I'm on the floor, but I'm right here.
Yeah. Come here, baby. You got dust in that fucking visor or some shit. You can't see shit,
That was a
nigga.
cool moment when she turned his powers off so Nathan could see his eyes
Yeah,
when they
yeah, that
thought they
was
were gonna
dope.
die. That was a cool little moment.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
that
like
was
it's
cool.
never clean when you're talking about these time loops because like it always wraps into like some moment that didn't happen, leading to a moment that did
You
happen.
breaking up right now.
Yes, back to talking about paradox loops and how they never make fucking sense because it always is like an event that didn't happen yet leads to an event that happens in the past and then eventually leads to that event happening again so the future can carry out and shit like that.
Yeah, they had something like that going. I can't hear. They had something like that going on in the anime. I mean, like I remember the nigga Apocalypse, the future, past, and present, saying at one point,
Maybe he's
making sure
working with some
shit was
kind of king.
like that's what he was. That's what he was doing. He was. I forgot how he got to the pres. How he got to the future. How he got to the future. But when he got to the future, he had got the power thing from Nimrod or something like that. The time travel, or it was a Pacific mutant. I forgot the mutant name. He got the power from him. When he did that, he went back into the past to ensure some shit. So now he's doing shit in the past, and then he went to the present to snatch up a bunch of to do some shit. Basically, that's basically what I think. That's what,
Yeah,
like you said, if it
they're
happened in the
implementing a
animated
comic
series,
storyline.
then they're
Like they
probably
might
doing
change
it
it.
again. Like yeah,
Yeah, and
like cause
I'm going off of them probably changing some stuff from the comic storyline just to modernize it, make it its own thing and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying that that's probably what they're doing. And but I just feel like with the green vortex thingy and Kang not really getting a proper out in the Marvel universe, I feel like this is a good opportunity to use that, and I feel like Marvel is not dumb enough to not use this opportunity.
I think that's a cool theory. Honestly, like I think I would be.
And not necessarily that Kang is like behind it all, but like he helped Apocalypse. Like Apocalypse is
I would
working
be
with him in
impressed.
some
I would
sense.
be impressed with that storyline. That was one I would be hella impressed that theorized, and then I would be impressed that they went with it because that's a pretty cool way not to waste a character and way to do away with him. If so, because if anything, this is all still under Loki's control. Loki's control. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like
yeah,
Loki.
which would be
So,
interesting because you would have to tie that into it also. But this could be a
yeah,
universe where
so
Loki is not Loki,
that
honestly.
would be interesting if that's because he's like weaving a lot of universes. So if this is
Hmm.
one that he's not weaving, that would be very interesting. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
You know what I mean? So
that's where I think that's my guess on what might
one
happen
of
in
one of
this
my
next season.
predictions is Gambit returning. Definitely, I feel like
Oh
we're gonna
yeah, I
definitely
think
see a
Apocalypse
Gambit.
is bringing his ass back.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with that whole because wasn't that his piece of his cloth like he was touching?
I don't know if it was Pete to his cloth. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I
I think
definitely
it
do
was something
know that
like
he has like his own heralds, like how Galactus kind of has his own heralds of the Silver Surfer, and apparently it's called Death, and he normally resurrects a character for that to be his person in the comics, from what I understand, and I forget who it normally is, but when it makes sense for it to be Gambit here,
yeah,
especially because in
it
season
would
two,
make
that's gonna pull on the emotional ties and all that stuff. Rogue is gonna get super pissed whenever she finally gets back and sees this shit. Um,
right.
and I think we're like they're gonna play that out like in episodes, like in the background episodes, but that's not gonna be the main story. Like is what they're doing in these other timelines. That's gonna be like the little interesting tidbits they put in there to piece things together. Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get like the ones that are left, like Ford, Jubilee, Roberto, Wolverine eventually getting up, and they're gonna be fighting with Apocalypse, who's on Earth now. That's gonna be
Because
the meat and
I think
potatoes of the
I
story.
think they are the we might get Archangel. I think those are the uncanny.
Hmm.
Like in the comic book, they had like
Yeah, we're gonna get like the Uncanny
suits.
X Men. Yeah, something like
Yeah, they
that.
had like different type of suits, and they had Wolverine had this yellow, but it was like round. It had no pointers on it. It was just round, like almost
Oh
like
yeah,
Scott's.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're
You
talking
know what I'm
about.
saying? So yeah, I think we're gonna see something like that. That would be cool because they're no longer the X Men that we know. Basically, could be cool.
So
I hate Jean's gray outfit, so I'm hoping she gets some new fucking
um,
clothes.
I don't mind
Like
it when she's not wearing the stupid mask. The mask is what
the
makes it
mask is
stupid to me.
dumb.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
mask
yeah.
is stupid.
Like
It
I
looks
hope she
like
gets
some
some new
Majora's
clothes.
Mask type shit, like some knockoff. Like I went to the store
Yeah.
and bought a Majora's Mask costume from like
Like
the party
anytime, it's like
shop.
anytime she gonna be like, "Ooh," like bitch, like come
Yeah,
on,
it
like
looks
fuck
like
it.
that episode in WandaVision when she dressed like the old Wanda from the
Yeah,
comics. It
like
looks
the
like that
mask is
type of
too
shit.
much.
But
Exactly. Yeah.
it's the old fit. They were all wearing like older looking fits. Like even Scott was wearing his old Cyclops fit, not the new shit with his hair out and shit like that. So I get why they did it. Wasn't a fan of it, but I get why they did it. So there you go. How did you feel overall season? Because I'm gonna just sum it up in one word. I'm gonna just say it was excellent, fucking phenomenal. If it wasn't for that Motendo episode, it probably would have been a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
I think that's a pretty cool name. That's called Motendo.
I
That's
think
pretty.
that's what that episode was called because the character is like something with an M.O. and then it was based off a
Mojo.
video game, so it's like Nintendo but based off of his name.
That was they get little points for
It's a nine. It's a
nine,
nine overall season,
like
baby.
a nine. Yeah, I was gonna say like, because it's either gonna be perfect or a nine. Can't go no lower.
Yeah, and eight
How I
is
felt
not
about
doing
it, I
justice to
felt
this
I was
season.
happy. I was happy with it. I was happy. I was impressed with the story, with the animation, with the fighting, with everything. The voice actors, everything. Everything about it was pretty cool. Dope. I can't wait to see where we gonna go with it next. Where they gonna go with it next? I gave our prediction theories. Hopefully we get to see some of them. You know what I'm saying? And even more exciting ones. 'Cause this shit was fire. It was fire. Like from the jump. to the end.
Yeah, from
Like this
beginning
shit
to
was
end, it was
fire.
so good. It was so good, man.
Yeah, it
Um,
was really it's really crazy. Like
the last thing I'll say is like what I normally say about these type of things is that like when the villain storyline or the like shroud to who the villain is good, you're normally gonna have a good product because like your superheroes can be as boring as possible as long as the bad guys are worth paying attention to. And like going from Sinister and the Friends of Humanity up to like the Goblin Queen and then leading into Bastion and stuff like that, and Magneto always jumping back and forth and stuff made this a fun ass ride because it was always a suspenseful thing and me wondering, well, if Sinister's already exposed and Sinister ain't the bad guy, who's next? And like, and then you get the Bastion, and then you're like, if Bastion ain't it, if he, because I don't think Bastion's dead either, but if this is them being done with Bastion for now, who's next? Like, and then if Apocalypse pops up and they're just getting teleported, I'm not thinking that Apocalypse teleported these niggas. I think that's why I brought Kang in because I'm like I'm assuming that he's working with somebody because almost
you know
everybody is
what's
always
crazy?
working with
You
somebody.
know what we didn't question? We didn't question how did Bishop get back?
Well, he went to the future, so he probably was able to get the technology he needed to get back.
But you know what's crazy about Bishop going back and shit really not changing? It's like it kind of tells that everything they're doing don't change shit. They still like Bishop still ends up in crazy ass future with Forge, where everything is fucking going crazy. Running Sentinel. It's
Yeah, he's
like
just
who's
continuously
doing
trying
what?
to change shit to hopefully get a peaceful outcome. And it's basically like, yo, this is the Marvel universe, bud. Like, you don't get peaceful outcomes. You just get new
And now he's
villains.
gonna be running around with the uncanny X-Men, and it's like, okay,
Bad guys.
uh,
Every time you prevent one, you just get a new bad guy.
like yo, this shit is crazy.
Or that bad guy
But
comes at
yeah,
a
no,
different approach. So like that's kind of the whole thing with it. But that's why Nexus of Points are so important and talked about so much recently. Because it's like even if you do change a Nexus point, this is something's gonna happen at that point that is just gonna lead to something bad going on. Like you can't change it at the end of the day. Like certain points in life are just gonna happen. Certain trials are gonna have to come, and you guys are gonna be tested, and you guys have to surpass or die, and that's just how life goes. So, and that's why Marvel is interesting because you always know, no matter what, if you fix
yes,
it, something else is just coming. It's never gonna be boring.
yeah. I mean, I would agree. The last Nexus point we saw, bro, kind of ate up Christie.
I feel like the quieter anything Marvel is, the bigger the bad guy is about to be. So like if you get a bunch of movies that are like we're like think about it, King. He was supposed to be a really big bad guy in the world, and people just weren't feeling him. And the Jonathan Majors thing happened, but leading up to it, it was very quiet. People were like, nothing's really happening in these movies. But you knew Kang, like their plans were pretty big for Kang. It's just nobody was really
I
riding the
think
wave,
I but yeah, yeah, that was X-Men 97, man. This is the last. We'll be back for next season. Next
X
season
Men
comes on. Look
'97.
out for information, and we'll be looking out for information. Definitely pop back X-Men. Check it out if you
I
have
want to
not.
find
By
out why
now, you
that Bo DeMayo
definitely
guy got
caught up.
fired. Because if he was behind all this and he made this great ass season happen, are they going to be good next season? I hope they're great next season. If he's still not,
Well,
if he's not around.
they said they changing whoever they have for the. I don't know how that.
Like if it's going to be under new lead,
He's
I'm
on.
kind of skeptical. But I hope they just keep it
No, no,
rolling.
no. He's on for season 2. But season 3, they already confirmed they're changing show. Season 2, same showrunner. Season 3, different showrunner. So this
So
season 3 is really the what if.
I hope they do some good shit. And I'm interested to see what happens since they announced like 7 spin-offs off this show. But whatever. I don't know how they're going to make that
I
happen.
know.
But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. We'll see.
But that is that. That is X Men. And do doom doom do doom 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 doom
No more
doom
X-Men 97.
doom 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 doom
X-Men 97.
doom
X-Men
doom
97. Gambit in
going to
heaven.
98 doom
Gambit in heaven.
doom. Yo, imagine if that's how they do the time jump. Like when these niggas come back, it's like 2025.
That'd be crazy.
Yo,
Oh,
they're
that'll
just
be dope.
yo, that'd be so crazy.
That'll be
That's how they
dope.
do the jump.
That'll
Is
be
that like
dope.
Apocalypse been around and he's running the earth and the X Men are like they're like renegades, whatever it is, rebels. They're like rebels and rebel cause and shit like
That'll be
that.
dope. That'll be dope because everybody else around the
It's like
Spider
25 years.
Man and Peter Parker.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at the
like
older version
25,
about it.
30 years later they get back and the fucking world is just so different. And it's all under apocalypse and that and whatever X-Men are left are just rebels rebelling against his cause and shit trying to stay in hiding. Yeah, that'd be fire. That'd be fire. But yeah, that's it. Peace.
All
but
right, yeah, I'm out of here.